Yeah, before I even do the video, I wanna, yeah, bald again. I don't know if that's worth sharing, but yeah. Hey guys, how is everybody doing? With the release of the Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the video game releasing actually yesterday as we're recording this video, I kind of forgot about that. I decided to look back at the original 1988 hidden horror classic in my mind with the original Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Now, this is a movie I've never really talked about on my channel. I've never even mentioned it, I don't believe. But yeah, this is a movie that I really enjoy. This is a movie that I really do love, but I never really see anybody talk about it. But thankfully, it has gotten the love that it deserves, mostly because of Spirit Halloween. So wasting no time and starting off with my positives, and the first thing I really want to talk about is the song written and performed by the Dickies for this movie. So I also love hearing the backstory of this song before I really talk about it. The backstory of the song is so funny to me is because the Dickies never even saw this movie when they performed this song. They never even knew what the movie was about. They didn't know what the movie was about. The only thing they were giving was the title of this movie was Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and they had to use that, and that's all they knew. So they wrote down some little music cues or whatever they're called. I don't know anything about music. So they wrote down the song that they wanted to perform, and so they performed it, and they gave it to the the Carrero brothers, it was something brothers, and they used it for the movie, and that was it. They didn't know what the movie was. They haven't even seen the movie yet, so they basically just made the song from a simple title, and I call that simple music. So yeah, this song written and performed by the Dickies in the song is great. I think it's really catchy. It's just like it plays like the second the movie starts. Like you get the title card of the movie and it just plays that song like it's kind of like heavy metal in a way, but at the same time, it's like really goofy heavy metal. I like, excuse me, I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody. I don't know if that makes any sense whatsoever, but it's like a goofy heavy metal like song that's a lot of fun and it's kind of catchy. Of course, when you're talking about the original Killer Clowns movie, there's something that has to go without saying, and that is the clowns themselves. I got a clown right here. I forget his name. Excuse me. But yeah, the clowns in this movie, they're great. If you're gonna have a movie about killer clowns, then you better have cool looking clowns, pretty entertaining ones, excuse me. And they succeeded because the design of each and every clown is great. I think all of them look. What I like about the designs of the clowns is how they're kind of scary in a way, but at the same time they're not overly scared to where this is kind of like the designs of these clowns kind of look like a type of movie like this movie in general and the designs of these clowns is like a movie you could introduce to like kids to get to introduce them to horror if you want to. So like and the clowns themselves like they're not overly scary, they're only scary like a few times. I think the parts where they really are scary is when they actually like laugh, which they have creepy laughs. But anyways, so like the design of the clowns and how much fun they really have with this in this movie is great. And my favorite clown is Shorty, not because he's the most popular, but maybe because he has like the more developed clown in a way, and he has like and he's probably the most entertaining clown, and he has like some of the more iconic scenes, like when he comes out of the pizza box and like the whole scene where he punches the guy's head off, like Shorty himself just has some of the most iconic scenes in the movie, and he seems like he's the most developed clown out of all of them, but none of them really get any development. But like Shorty, he's just like a cute clown. Like he's kind of cute. Like when you see him in scenes, like this guy's kind of cute, but this is also like a clown you don't really want to mess with. Like this is like a person that you like want to have fun to talk to, but at the same time you don't want to get on their bad side. And that's basically what Shorty is. He's cute and he's lovable, and then you piss him off, and then he punches your head off. What was I talking about? And still talking about the clowns, kind of. I really like their gadgets that they have in this movie. Like, there's like a gun that like turns people into cotton candy or like wraps them up in cotton candy. And then you also got like the little popcorn gun that they have. Like, I always find that interesting how that was the most expensive thing throughout the entire movie when it kind of looks like the most simplest uh um thing in the movie because when you look at all these like things and gadgets in this movie, and then you find out the popcorn gun was the most expensive, you're like, it's kind of weird. Like a popcorn gun was the most expensive. That's interesting, but like their gadgets and like the weapons that they use in this movie, they're all very creative and they're like really fun. Like again, the popcorn one, you get the one that like turns people into cotton candy. It's not really a weapon, but I thought it was pretty funny how like their dog is just a balloon animal to where they just take a balloon like and they just make it look like a dog. Like that was kind of funny. It's not a weapon, but they use it as a weapon kinda, and it's pretty funny, I feel. But yeah, the clowns themselves and the gadgets, they're fun and they're like very creative. Like like talking about expensive things. This movie is an example of what you can do with a small budget with a lot of creativity. Because this movie only had like a $2 million budget, not a lot of money to make a movie, and especially this type of movie. But it just shows what a lot of creativity can do for a movie, and this is a perfect example of one of them. And still talking about creativity, I feel this movie did a great job of putting so much creativity with the premise of this movie. When you hear the title "Killer Clowns from Outer Space," you shouldn't be taking that serious. Like you shouldn't be able to like hear that and be like, "Oh, what kind of movie this is going to be." Like this is like when you hear that title alone, you think this should be like a goofy fun movie, and this movie definitely does. This movie has like a lot of creativity in it. Like I talked about the gadgets and the weapons that the clowns use and like the look of the clowns and how much fun that these guys have. There's so much just creativity into it. One of the main things that comes to my mind when I think about it is like when one of the clowns is driving an invisible car as like a little gag and he like hits the guy off the road, or when the same clown is making like shadow puppets and like it makes a dinosaur and like eats all the old people.
Holy shit! Believe it.
Like there's so much like creativity there. It honestly feels like they all just got in a room together, had a pen and paper, and just wrote down some of the most simplest, funny scenes that they can think of, and then they put it to screen, and they got the money for it, and they just put it onto the screen. Like there's so much great creativity in this movie that I truly loved, and I thought that the brothers of this movie, I forget their names. It's like Kuriko. It's not. It's definitely not that. But whatever their brother's name is, like they did a lot of creativity for this movie, and I applaud that. Well, this is still kind of talking about a lot of creativity, but the kills in this movie are great. There was like a lot of thought put into it. I don't think there's like one kill in this entire movie that I thought was like boring or wasn't creative or fun or funny or anything. Like every kill in this movie had a cool idea and had like a cool gag to it. Like my favorite kill in this movie, which is a lot of people's favorite kill, is when Shorty punches the guy's head off when he has the boxing gloves on. Like that
Knock my block off.
kill iconic. Like that is one of the most iconic kills in horror history, I feel, and if a lot of people don't know it, then you're not a horror fan, I feel. Like, there's just so many great kills. Like, one was, like, with the sheriff, not the sheriff, like, the officer in this movie, when he becomes a puppet, when the guy, like, just turns him into a puppet and has him talking. Like, creepy though. Like that's really creepy and kind of fucked up in a way when you think about it. But when you look at that, it's like that's a cool creative kill. And like when they turn people into cotton candy, that's a lot of fun. Or when Shorty comes out of the pizza box and turns a girl into cotton candy. Just so much creative kills in this movie to where they're just all great. To where I never felt there was like a kill in this movie to where it wasn't boring or just didn't have like any creativity in it. This movie has a lot of creativity that I like about it, and maybe that's what gives this movie its charm. But anyways, but yeah, it's great. I loved seeing that. It's great. I just loved every kill. There felt like that had to do something with clowns, like especially when they go into like the tent of this movie. Like their whole base is a freaking carnival. Like come on, dude. Like, and when they go into that, and when people start dying, like what was the one kill that I liked? God, I can't think about it on top of my mind what the one kill in the carnival was. The carnival. Was it a carnival? I don't know. I'm faded right now. No, no, I'm not. No, that was a joke. I'm kind of a rough audience when it comes to comedy and horror, but you really it really can't really be a blend. The only time like a horror comedy when it tries to be scary and funny at the same time, the only time that's really worked for me was Evil Dead 2. But this movie does only leans into comedy, and I like that. That is what I love about Killer Clowns from Outer Space is just how much comedy in this movie that it truly worked for me. Like when it comes to like the characters or the two brothers of this movie with the ice cream truck, like their comedy is great mainly because they're like basically Three Stooges characters. Like when like the clowns and some of the kills is funny, like when they're in like the drugstore and kind of like destroying anything, everything, and when Shorty kind of like sniffs like the powder or whatever it was, or like kind of like powder for your face for makeup. I don't know what it was, but like the comedy in this movie is just hilarious, and it also comes from like the one officer who basically just hates every teenager known to man. And when he's kind of like locking up the clown and like he arrests him, the clown just like walks away with just his hands just taken off like that. Like I hate my throat. Like that scene is hilarious. It's like this movie just has you laughing from beginning to end because it's just how much fun this movie truly is, and I really like that. Like the comedy is just great. I laugh from beginning to end because if you're a big horror comedy fan, then you're gonna love the comedy in this movie. However, I do love a lot of the creativity in this movie, and I do really like the movie. One mixed aspect I will say is the characters, to where it's not that they're unlikable. I feel they're fine characters. It's that they're so weird to where you can't really explain them. Like they're kind of forgettable in a way, but like some of them are just like meh. None of the characters I really cared for. If they died, I'd be like, oh damn. But like no character I was like really worried about. None of the characters are fully memorable. Again, they're not dislikable. It's not like they're really dumb characters. It's just like they're kind of forgettable and they're just like there in a way. Like if you just told me to like who is this character, I'd be like, I don't know. Why are you asking me? I don't know shit, dude. Like I don't know. Some of the characters are fine in this movie. They're okay, but they're not fully memorable. But moving on to the negatives, and if anything, this is a nitpick, but it just bothered me throughout the whole movie. And I get that this is the main like the main thing about the movie, how it's like this is not a movie to be taken serious, and there's gonna be like a lot of goofy things in this movie. But the acting, man, the acting is just some of the line delivery is just like, do you want to try that again? Like, there's a part where like the main character, like the boyfriend, he goes, "They got him. He's dead." It's like what the fuck? Like I get it, that's the part of that's that's the thing about the movie. Like it's a joke, like that. Like the type of tone this movie is like that should match with the characters. But like some of the acting is just terrible, to where it's like I don't know if these guys were like just exhausted or they just didn't care. Like again, I get it. That's what they're trying to focus on, and that's what the acting should be for this type of movie. But it just bothered me throughout the whole movie. Like the line delivery in this movie, it's just like, ugh, it was rough. All in all, guys, I love Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's one of my favorite horror movies. It's one of my favorite horror comedy movies. It's probably my favorite B horror movie. It's an absolute hidden horror classic. If you've never seen this movie, please do yourself a favor. If you're a horror fan, you are going to love this movie. And if you're a huge horror comedy fan, then this movie will definitely will be one of your favorites, if not your favorite. It's a damn fun time. It never fails to entertain you. You'll be entertained from beginning to end. It is such a fun movie. It is such a hidden horror classic, and I'm so happy to see that it's getting the popularity it deserves. So, kind of a lot of that to Spirit Halloween because of all the merchandise it sells for it. But yeah, if I gladly believe this movie does deserve a sequel, but it's been so long to where I don't know what that would look like. But hey, we got a video game, and I guess I'll be happy with that, but I do want to see a sequel to Killer Class of Outer Space. That is one of those movies that does deserve it. Absolute horror classic. I love it to death. It's one of my favorite horror movies, so please do, once again, do yourself a favor, check it out. But again, it's not going to be for everybody. I will make that perfectly clear. This movie definitely will not be for everybody. So go in with caution if you're not a big horror comedy fan, but at least give it a shot. What do you guys think about Killer Clowns from Outer Space? Have you seen it? If you have not, do yourself a favor once more. What do you think about it? Do you like this movie? Do you not like this movie? Do you not like the goofy tone, B movie, like movie that this movie is? Let me know in the comments below and we shall talk about it. And if you like this video, like it. If you love it, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you will get notified for all of my latest videos. And of course, until my next video, I'll see you all next time.